Before jumping into the numbers, let's go ahead and take a look at the Airbnb listing. This is not on the MLS yet, so we don't have the MLS listings and photos, but we can look at the Airbnb listings, which frankly, in some respects, are maybe more meaningful. This is Cottage A, so it's the upstairs unit. You can see from the photos, we've got the living area. You can get a sense for all the furnishings, the decor, as well as the accessories. And then you've got a little outdoor area, which again, I would think about a hot tub for this area. Here's the laundry room and the front of the cottages. So this is the upstairs unit, which is on Highway 49. The downstairs unit is down below and towards the back of the lot. But nice inviting porch. Like I said, set up, ready to go. And if we just want to take a look quickly at guest feedback, this is a guest favorite. So this is a badge that Airbnb puts on your listing if it performs well. 4.87 average star rating is fantastic, and 213 reviews, so it shows a good track record. So this listing has done well, even without a hot tub. And then if we jump over to the Cottage B, which is downstairs, again, this one, 4.9 average, also a guest favorite with 207 reviews. So good track record as well. You can see the cottage downstairs has equally nicely appointed, furnished, beautiful, cozy little place. And you'll get a sense of the space from the walkthrough. But this is just facing the back of the house. And then this driveway can come off of 49. And there's also another entrance off of Idle Wheels Senior Park's entrance. Mariposa Family Cottages with Cottage B in the rear. And from both a listing perspective, furnishings, decor, and guest feedback, you can see it's done quite well. And let me just see, great host, house was clean, peaceful spot to stay, wonderful stay, cute and quaint, perfectly situated in Mariposa. So you can see it got really good feedback. 4.9 for location. So that kind of gives you a sense for how do people respond to staying at this place. So those are the reviews for Cottage B. And because I didn't look at reviews for Cottage A, let's jump to those quickly as well. Now, in this case, location dropped a little bit to 4.7. Obviously, the cottages are in the same place, but perhaps with Cottage A being upstairs, maybe they experienced a little bit of road noise. Location close to Yosemite, so that's positive. This looks like this guest dinged him a little bit for not having batteries in the remote. All right, so you can see generally 4 or 5 stars, average 4.87. So overall strong in terms of reviews. Anyway, I just wanted to show you those to give you a sense for how do people respond to this location and these properties. Okay, we are going to take a look at the Mariposa Family Cottages, which is a listing that I have coming up. So we're going to take a look at some of the historical earnings as well as some Airdna market data, and then we'll take a tour of the property. This is actually a very nice opportunity to purchase a turnkey Airbnb. So it has been listed for several years, since 2021, partial year with the current owners. And we're going to dig into the data a little bit. Number one, I just want to show you one thing. This is Mariposa County, and I would ask you to just bear with me because with a relatively small sample size, it's tough to navigate all the data and specifically to identify some of the opportunities to increase revenue over the current levels. Let's just start with this. You can see the map over here on this side. In Mariposa County, there's actually quite a few listings that are outside of town. Ponderosa Basin, Mid Pines, Bootjack, and really there's just a relatively small cluster of listings in town. Now, the cottages are certainly within a short drive of downtown, a little bit out Highway 49. A car is recommended. It's not really walking distance, but it's very convenient to town. Restaurants, Mariposa's got some great restaurants as well as a nice market and some other shops for buying souvenirs or clothes or art. There's an art gallery in town. Anyway, what I want to show you here is on average across all bedroom, bathroom, and guest counts, specifically just entire places. So we're not talking about private rooms or shared rooms, but we're saying either apartment or a house. So those are the only filters we applied at this point. And you've got about $45,000 in average annual revenue. But again, this is not a tremendous number of listings. So I just will quickly show you what happens if you add a hot tub. So average daily rate $265, occupancy 53%, annual revenue about $45,000 a year. We add the hot tub, and now occupancy stays the same, but the average daily rate jumps up to $353 a night. And that gets us to almost $60,000 in annual revenue. Again, even smaller sample size now by adding the hot tub, but the point I want to make is that there is an opportunity to get a revenue uplift by adding a hot tub, or in this case, 2 hot tubs, because the Cottages is actually a duplex. So there's an upstairs unit and a downstairs unit. They're each a 2-1 that can sleep up to 4 people each. Each space has its own private laundry area. Again, you can get around the 3-bedroom limit in Mariposa County because it's zoned and permitted for vacation rental as a duplex. But just wanted to show you the hot tub uplift of almost $15,000 a year. Now, let's go ahead and jump now over to Airdna. Airdna says a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 4-guest space at this location would generate $35,500 per year. Certainly below the average for the area because, again, that average includes bigger properties. But in this case, you could expect combined to generate right at $70,000 a year with the 2-bedroom, 1-bath units. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that the comps, again, a fairly short list, 2 of those comps are the existing properties, so they're influencing the projections as well. Let's move out of projection land into the actual. This is the Airbnb earnings summary for the 2 units. You can see that in 2021, it was just a partial year, so roughly half. And then this shows you the breakdown between Cottage A, which is the upstairs unit, and Cottage B, which is the downstairs unit, and then the combined. So that first year, partial year, 33,000, a little above. 2022, a little over 65,000. 2023, about 72. 2024 down to 67, and 41,000 so far this year. And again, this data is through September. Think in terms of about $70,000 a year revenue. And again, this will show you the breakdown, in this case by year, the 2 cottages. And then this is actually just showing a level of detail, the net including, or the gross, including Airbnb fees and adjustments, but you can see by month what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and jump over to this chart again, which shows you the monthly breakdown in a stacked bar between Cottage A in the orange, which is the upstairs unit, and Cottage B in the blue, which is the downstairs unit. Now, the other thing to note here is, in addition to seasonality factors, which obviously reduce your total earnings in some of the shoulder season or the off season. In virtually every year, there were some repairs and other things that blocked days. We had up to 30 or 40 days blocked to basically handle upgrades, remodeling, some improvements to the property. Those were scheduled obviously during the off season as much as possible so as to not affect overall earnings. But you can see that we've got a dip in the early part of the year to handle some of those improvements which affected revenue. The message is, if you want a turnkey property, again, these units are being sold furnished, ready to go. This is a very quick, easy acquisition. Could be a quick close if you're open to that. And you can think in terms of about roughly $70,000 on the $499,000 purchase price, which gets you about 14% gross yield, which is in line with minimum ROI levels that most investors are looking for. Just want to point out that if you consider the current earnings history at roughly $70,000 per year for both cottages combined, and if you add to that the expected uplift for a hot tub in Mariposa County of roughly $15,000 per listing, you certainly have the potential by adding a hot tub to each cottage to increase the overall revenue for the property to $100,000 per year. So basically $70,000 baseline, $15,000 each per unit as an uplift, and a total of $100,000 for the property. So at that point, you're now in the 20% gross yield category, which is very attractive. And after subtracting all the expenses, you should definitely be able to cash flow and see appreciation as well as tax benefits. So I think this is potentially a very outstanding investment. And again, turnkey, not requiring any additional investment in terms of the furnishings, etc. So that gives you high-level view of the numbers, a little bit of a drill down by month, by unit, and by year. And then we will go ahead and tour the property so you can get a sense. It's right on Highway 49. In the tour, you're going to hear a little bit of road noise, but that has not been an issue in terms of guest satisfaction. And again, that gets you in a very convenient location in terms of the access to town, etc., and the conveniences. So we'll wrap that up and head to the tour of the property. We're here at the Mariposa Family Cottages. This is a new listing I have coming up. It's a current and active Airbnb. And we'll just take a quick tour of the house. So what's nice about this is it's actually a duplex. So this is cottage A, and this is zoned as a duplex. No issue at all renting this as two separate units. So you step into cottage A, you've got this nice cozy living area with a desk, and we'll just step down this hallway. We've got the full bath here with the combo tub and shower. And then off here we've got bedroom 1. Got a queen size bed. Step across the hall, bedroom 2 with little seating, another queen. Got mini splits. The HVAC is taken care of and it's efficient. So past the bathroom into the kitchen area. Nice and roomy. But what's nice about this is that, actually we'll peek here, we've got the laundry area upstairs. There's actually 2 laundry areas. But because it's a duplex and because it's a 2-1 up top and a 2-1 down below, here's the driveway that comes past the cottages down to the lower level. You've got several listing options. You could actually list this as a 2-1 and a 2-1, or combine the two into a 4-bedroom listing, 2-bath, accommodate more guests, larger groups, but each group would have their own private area. So here's the driveway off the Idle Wheels Road, which is off the highway. So you can come back to this unit that way if you'd like. We'll just take a quick peek here into the laundry area. So this is the downstairs laundry. And the water heater there. There's another water heater upstairs. So, stepping into Unit B, another nice living area. Also, a little desk office area, eat-in kitchen with the dining table. Across the hallway here, we've got bedroom 1. And the bathroom is actually divided, so you've got the commode area and a separate shower room, very roomy. And over here we've got the second bedroom. So that's the cottages, 2 units. They're doing quite well on Airbnb now, but they're not taking advantage of a couple of revenue opportunities. Number 1, they could add a hot tub to each unit, which would help occupancy and nightly rate. And they can also offer the 2 units combined, which is not currently an option. So there's some additional revenue that could be captured there. And I mentioned the road to Idle Wheels. That's actually a senior park, and they have made their guests available. We could promote these listings to guests visiting their parents or grandparents at the senior park. So another revenue opportunity that's currently not being utilized.